What's up,
Well,
people?
that's what I'm saying. That's.
Streaming software, you just never know what you're going to get.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is what the heck? Oh, we're not
Yeah,
talking about the
man.
game yet. Oh,
Nah, man. Nah, man. Forget that. It's Monday night. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Stay Faithful podcast. I'm Ty.
there we go.
Joining me is my buddy David. What's going on, buddy? How you doing tonight, David?
I'm all right. Watch the replay for some reason.
I did too.
Um, it was painful. I'm not gonna lie, it was painful.
Mm-hmm.
And we're better than that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm starting to think like earlier in the season I started asking this question, right? Is Kyle one of those bosses you just don't want to work for, and this is why all these coaches leave? A lot of folks say, "Oh, it's because they're getting promoted." I'm starting to think that's not the case, but um, all the assistants and these good assistant coaches, DCs, OCs, all these guys we've lost. Like right now, our team's coaching wise, it does not look like it's well coached. Um, we have severe discipline issues, like 9 penalties for 77 yards. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
those were on the offense. Three of them were on a guy that this is totally uncharacteristic of, which is Dominic Pooney. And like I said, very uncharacteristic of him to get 3 penalties in a game. You know, um, everyone's allowed to have a bad game every now and again. But
Yeah.
yesterday, it was the whole team. Minus Kittle. Minus Kittle. All right.
Yeah.
Kittle
He
produced.
played very
I'm not
well.
going to lie.
He played extremely well.
Yes.
He played well. Lenore played his normal good game. Good in coverage, good in the run game. Um, who's another positive? Jalen Moore didn't do too bad. Positive. Leonard Floyd had two
He
sacks.
wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible.
Nope.
I guess.
But Leonard Floyd
Um,
had two sacks on the day. Got some pressure in there. Not bad.
what did
Um,
Juwan Jennings? Juwan Jennings did something, didn't he?
he had a couple
I
of
think. I think
catches.
he caught. Didn't he catch like everything that was thrown his way?
No.
Debo. No.
Well, we're not even gonna talk about him. We're not gonna talk about him. There was a few passes that went to JJ that was a bit errant, and I don't think much of that was his fault. If a pass is thrown behind him, what can you do? Um, you know,
Well, Juwan 5 catches for 40 yards. You
yeah,
know,
nothing big, nothing long.
he's still
You know,
reliable.
yeah,
You know,
he was out
Debo
there playing.
Samuel one for 21.
Mm-hmm.
In that there was a few I looked at like these are very catchable. Like if it's between these, I always look at it like it's very catchable. You know, um, Debo doesn't have the best hands in the league.
Nope.
But it's like lock in. We
Yep.
need you at this point, and it was like what one of those catches is kind of thrown high, and but it was still between his hands. I mean, if he was a
It
little
was between his
quicker,
hands.
but then it like tipped off his hands and directly into a Green Bay defender that was just like
Yep.
perfectly
McKinney
lined up
caught it,
for it.
took it
You know,
back. Um, it was just a day of miscues. It was a lot on offense. The offense was offensive. You know, everyone aside for Kittle and Juwan Jennings, everyone kind of had a turn and doing something bad. Well, Kittle even missed a big block. As great of a game he had, he missed one key block that allowed
yeah.
pressure on Brandon Allen and it totally blew up the play. So everyone kind of had a turn in doing something off that contributed to the big loss. The key was the big turnovers, right? It's
Three of them.
it's
Three of them.
just three huge ones that immediately gave them the ball right back, put the defense back on the field in some terrible situations. It's a little too much to overcome. No matter how hard you
And
battle,
well,
what can you do about that?
so we turned the ball over 3 times.
Yes, we
And
did.
our defensive backs aren't wide receivers for a reason, folks. That's actually the same for defensive backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
They had 3 dropped interceptions. But yeah, there's a reason they're not wide receivers. Let's be honest here. But that's again the miscues all game long. It was hard to watch. When I watched the replay, I was asking myself, why am I doing this to myself? But it's the team just doesn't look disciplined. They have to practice. That there's a saying that, like Hargrave was saying, Kyle practices hard, and it's
Hmm.
like, how hard do you practice, Kyle? Because at this point, I think you need to bust out the tackling dummies, but let's put them on like some electric skateboards or something, and let's get practicing. You know, um,
Okay, so that's the defensive side of the ball. What
mhm.
what what dummies you going to break out on the offensive side? Provide a solution for that.
Well, how about we just tie one to the back of Debo, so he's used to having a guy right there, and throw him some balls. You know, so he's used to having the guy right there. We'll even like wrap one arm around Debo and put a hand like right here by his face. I'm just but he can't seem to. He's having issues getting open, is what I'm getting at. Even the throws to him, there was a guy right there. You know, he's just not getting separation like he used to. I don't know. I don't quite know what's going on. Has he lost a step? I'm not going to say he has. I'm honestly thinking that this season has been FUBAR, and maybe in his mind the season's done, and he's already on vacation, which wouldn't be the way to go right now, because
Yeah,
we ain't dead yet
we ain't dead yet. We're still a game out.
of the
We can
division.
still win the division,
And
make the
and
playoffs, and
guess
go on a
guess,
run.
guess who looked over
Yeah.
everyone's schedules? So the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals play each other quite a bit in
Hmm.
these last 6 games. The Seahawks and Cardinals played yesterday,
Yep.
and the Seahawks beat the Cardinals. So
Yes,
now
they did.
they're both 6-5. Rams lost to the Eagles. They're
Yes,
five and
indeed.
six. They're with us right there. We're 5-6, and the Rams still have to play the Seahawks. They still have to play. I think they played the Cardinals twice.
Yeah.
Um, and so there's going to be a lot of them beating up on each other going on here. So we have a chance. But the thing is can you? Was this last game enough of a punch in the face, a kick to the ribs, and maybe getting tossed off the cliff? It was that enough to get this team motivated? We've had some long playoff runs since 2021.
Yes, we
We
have.
played a lot of football games. You know, I would say, is that getting to this team? But there's also been a lot of players turned over. It's not the same 53 guys on the field it was in 2021.
Yeah, but every team goes through that every year. You don't keep the same amount of players. As long as
Yep.
the core is there, you'll be fine. And our core is there. Now, there are key members of the core that are injured. When your starting quarterback is out, that's a big piece right there. Then you take the most
And
important
and the
piece from
guy
the
and the
offensive
guy that
line. He's out.
and the guy that people have been calling overrated. I'm not going to call Bosa overrated. I'll call him overpaid.
Hmm.
Damien, I'm going to have to text him, tell him we're live.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to call him, overrated. Bosa's not overrated. When he's on the field, he's taken up, the opposite team's best blocking offensive lineman. They're having to chip him. They're throwing extra guys at him. They're having to
Always.
account for him no matter where he is. And without him on the field, no one's having to do that. So it frees like, running backs, tight ends. It frees these guys up to go out and make a catch, but he gets in that quarterback's head. He gets close to the quarterback a lot, even though he's not getting sacks. He does. He gets close to him a lot. It gets in his head. Bosa has an effect on the game.
He does.
But overrated, you will never call me. I'll never call Bosa that. Overpaid, yeah, maybe. But that's what the team chose to do. Right. You can't blame a guy for taking that
QB money. Hey, give it to him.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Real quick, shout out to the chat. Red Jets in the house. What's up, Shal? Papa J's in the house. We got Miss Sin in the house. What's going on, Sin? Delaware in the house. Look at that. Jason, Captain Nasty in the house. What's going on? Who else is in here? Was somebody else in here? The Under the Helmet Pod. Oh, what's going on? I know Green and Brown. Green's got injured during the game, concussion. Yes, there was some dropped INTs, but that's missed opportunities. Not mistakes. That's just more missed opportunities, Gotta have it.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. 49ers Red Zone in the house. What's going on?
What's up? Yeah. 49er Media in the house. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Man, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, we were down, but still had an opportunity to get in that game and do some things. We were just couldn't execute. And that's kind of been the story all season. The execution has just not been there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And it's like when you don't have your million pieces, it exploits it even more.
Mm-hmm. Normally we have two guys that are like really good at yak, top 10 in the league. And right now we have one guy, the yak, and this is team wide, just hasn't been there. I'm not going to single one guy out, but it just has not been there this year. And, maybe the other teams are doing what we're not, and they're practicing their tackling.
Listen, the tackling thing is overrated. Let's keep it real. Like, everybody, and you know what's funny? I'm going to soapbox real quick. If you know what's funny, during the broadcast, it seemed like as soon as they reached 20, they stopped talking about it. It was like the beginning of the third quarter. It was like 12 minutes left. They announced 20 tackles have been missed. And it seemed like that was a magic number for them. Because as soon as they announced it, they never talked about it again. It's like they just wanted to hit a talking piece, a broadcast point, something for some clicks and views, ratings, I don't know what. But they was waiting to get to that 20 number. And as soon as they mentioned it, it was over. That was it. It was like we hit our marker. Done. Beautiful. So that number is BS.
Well, anyway. I watched the replay, and I can't say I saw 20. I did see quite a few, but I also saw some that there's no way that guy, that they're probably counting, but there's no way that guy actually could have made that tackle, the position that he was in.
I'm saying some of that stuff was real subjective. And that it's an arbitrary number, but but if we're being honest, yes, there were mixed tackles in the first half. Some guys out of position, leaping, lunging, doing those things. Jacobs did a great job of just making guys miss, juking and spinning. He had a great game. Hats off to him. So one thing I did notice, the defense did come out a bit cold, right? First quarter into the second, but after halftime, they adjusted. And defense did start getting stops and was making tackles and giving the ball back to the offense for them to get back in it. But we just couldn't get back in it.
No.
And then the turnovers came. And once the turnovers came, we just couldn't overcome that. It was just too much. You know,
It
it's
was.
like
It really was.
if you give, we turned it over in their territory twice, and then the other time was like right beyond the 50. That CMC run. It's like, what can you do at that point? There's nothing you can do. Oh, and then we had like the fourth down turnovers. It was a fourth down stop in there. I'm forgetting all this stuff. There was a fourth down stop. What was it, like at our 40 or something?
We were in no man's land. I think we were between their 40 and the 50.
Yeah,
We
that's what I
were in
mean.
no
It's like,
man's land
yeah, we
right
were in
there.
their territory. You're
Yeah.
correct. And it was in their territory, in between the 40 and 50, and we had to go for it anyway. I mean, we were down, and that was a turnover on downs right there. But once again, gave them great field position to do something. And it's like, if you're getting no help from your offense, at some point your defense is going to wear down. And they were on the field for a very long time, an extremely long time. But there's one key thing I wanted to talk to you about, and it's something we talked about weeks ago. And that was during the return of Christian McCaffrey. One thing we talked about and that we were dreading is that Jordan Mason and Isaac Guerendo would be completely forgotten about. And for 2 games in a row, it seems that that's the case. It's 2 games, right? Yeah. 2 games now. And it's kind of criminal. It's terrible. Especially when you saw Jordan Mason get in the game and he pops off that big run, you're like, feed him the rock. And then on the next play, he goes out for a passing play, and then the play after that, he's pulled off the field. And you don't see him until the end after CMC fumbles and Kyle decides to take him completely out the game. I think
And
not using him is hurting the offense overall too.
So that's something that actually frustrated me yesterday. Is the game plan apparently was pass the living crap out of the ball. Our starting quarterback goes down, and the game plan doesn't change. And at this point, we have quite the 3-headed monster at running back. And why didn't Kyle go, all right, screw it, we're going to run the living crap out of the ball? I don't know. I don't know why he tried to make Brandon Allen look like he's Josh Allen. I don't know. It's not Josh Allen out there, Kyle Shanahan. It's Brandon. They're different guys.
Maybe maybe someone wrote the first names wrong on the play card or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, you brought up a good point. Coming up to the bye week, it seems like we had a 2-headed monster going, right? And I know it was because of injury, because it was all Jordan Mason until he got injured, and then Guerendo got his number called more. However, it seems like the makings of something. And then it was like, okay, we get through CMC back. Now it's a 3-headed monster. Now we can really attack these teams and run downhill and get downhill and, play some bully ball. And it just went back to just, the 1-headed snake. That's it. Gone. I mean, what did Mason have yesterday? How many carries?
I think he had 2.
See, that's criminal. Criminal.
Guerendo, I don't think he even got one.
No, he was on kick return duty. That's it. He was on special teams.
Oh, look at that. Jim Everniner, the Faithful's in the chat. What's up, buddy?
Oh, yeah, he's the biggest 49er fan out here. And no one competes with him.
Yeah, he's always with us. He's always with me.
Yeah,
well, with me, whatever show I'm on, it's like.
Yeah, Jordan Mason had 3 carries. CMC 11, and that's
And
it. Ah,
for that's a grand total of 14 carries.
yeah,
And if you look at Brandon Allen, he threw the ball 29 times and had 2 carries. So, those carries were scrambles.
yeah.
So that's 31 pass plays. And we are backup quarterbacks in, and we're
Well, what
throwing
was the
the ball
QB sneak?
31 times.
What was that QB sneak that
Was
we
there a
did?
QB sneak?
Yeah,
I remember one time he scrambled.
yeah. It was a
You
QB.
know,
Yeah, but
it
wait, we
looked
got a penalty on
it
that.
looked it
So I
looked
don't even think
okay.
it
I mean,
counted.
he's faster than
Yeah,
James. He's faster than James,
yeah.
that's for sure. But
No, but I understand the passing because we got down so much early, right? Because the offense went 3 and out, then another 3 and out, and then next thing you know, we were down. So it's like we had to start throwing more to get back in it. So that took away from the run game a lot. But there was a point where I think we were down just 10 points. Yeah, right before the half. It was 17-7. And you'd think we would start running the ball more like we did last year. The game reminded me of the divisional game last year, to be honest with you. Because remember in the divisional game last year, they were kind of running the ball well. It was more outside running because they copied Detroit games, somebody's game plan. No, Detroit copied their game plan, but they did a lot of outside running, and caught us on some things, and they were up. Remember at the half,
oh
they
yeah,
were up in that game as well. So we had to fight and get back in it, and we did so. Running the ball more, kind of pounded it out. Let Brock do his thing a little bit, but played good defense and took control. And that's how this game went. If you look at it, we came out in the half, we had the ball, down 10. It was a chance to go down the field, get some points, start to chip away, get back in this thing. But that's when the offense faltered, right? Defense gets on the field. The defense holds, forces a punt, gives the ball back. Another opportunity, right? It just didn't happen. Like offensively, it just never happened. We could never get there. It was so frustrating. And I think that's what's killing everyone because inside they know we could have gotten back into this game and could have taken control and put all this BS to bed, but it just didn't materialize. There were a ton of injuries in the game. Hopefully there aren't on long and ongoing. But the key thing is next week we need some of the key pieces back. Like we need Brock back. We need Trent back. I think just having
well, there
those
was
two will solidify the offense.
there was positive news on Brock today, though.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep an eye on that moving forward. Trent, he's had an ankle problem since 2021, so as long as he can get it under control, he'll be all right. But Pooney is getting an MRI on his shoulder. That's kind of scary.
Where'd that come from? I
Um,
didn't hear that one.
Banks is in concussion protocol.
That I'm not worried about. That's the one thing I'm not worried about because remember, there was a game earlier in the year where he went out. And Spencer Burford actually came in and played his natural left guard position and did very well.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're playing a lineman in his natural position. Imagine that. He did very well. So if Banks can't go, I can see Burford going back in there, and I think we'll be okay. But this Pooney thing, I didn't hear about that. Jeez. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean they have him listed as day to day right now. So he could just something to keep an eye on over the course of the week. I'm not going to speculate.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
what? Which one?
Steve-O said Debo has podcast fatigue. That is hilarious. That's probably what it is.
Oh,
Oh,
Jordan Elliott. Media is saying Jordan Elliott also in concussion protocol. I saw a lot of Evan Anderson on the field,
yeah.
and as I'm watching him, it's like those guys they were double teaming him because when they didn't double team him, he was getting penetration.
The dude is big and strong. He is
So the
that
thing
big
is,
guy we need in the middle.
I've been wanting a guy like him in the middle because
Mm-hmm.
he's going to eat two blockers,
Mm-hmm.
and the other three guys are, and it's going to free up other players to make the play. You
Yeah.
know, um, it's nice to see him getting more field time though. I was hoping to see that
Yeah.
as we're going over the course of the season.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, thanks, Jim Everett. We could use more toilet paper. Appreciate you.
oh boy.
But yeah,
I actually so folks, I got me a new 49ers pullover. This ain't it. No. And then I got at the same time I got a jersey. This is off like a marketplace deal, right? And the jersey was a ladies size large, and I happened to work with some 49ers fans. So I brought it to work and I gave it to gave it to one of them, one of the ladies. She's a huge 49er fan,
all right.
and she doesn't have a jersey. I was like, I was talking to her about that last week. It's like, you don't have a jersey, so I gave it to her for an early Christmas present.
Oh,
She
nice.
got Vernon Davis,
Oh, that's awesome.
authentic Nike Vernon Davis.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
PD was a great one. Good old Vernon. That's a
yep.
great gift, man. Good on you. Giving back to the faithful. I like it. These are stories I like to hear.
Well,
That's good stuff.
it's one of those things. It's like I figured at first I figured, okay, well now I got the jersey. Now I need a lady to put in the jersey, but it was easier. Then I thought, you know what? Let me talk to Catrice at work and see,
Uh-huh.
if she has any Niner gear. She
Okay.
has a couple hats, but she didn't have a jersey. Now she's got a jersey. So
Sweet. Well, congrats to
me,
her.
I
There
got
you
I got
go.
my jersey. You can't really see it in the picture, but Joe Montana's hanging up right over there, folks. I also have a Frank Gore hanging up in the parking in the closet there.
But do you wear the Joe Montana though? I mean, just so iconic and the great one.
No,
Do you even wear that?
not really. I should.
Exactly.
I should. But
Exactly.
no.
It's like I have an original Rice jersey, like an old from '86, I think is when I got it. It's the old Wilson jersey. Remember the jersey was made by Wilson
Oh
back
yeah.
then?
Oh yeah.
Like the original '80s jersey. And still fits, but I like never wear it because it's like just, it represents that era and it's iconic. So it's like there. And it's cool, and I love Jerry, but I don't think I could ever wear it. My wife was cool enough to get me like a new Jerry Rice jersey with the new saloon font, like based on the jerseys now, so I could wear that one. But that old iconic, vintage one, I don't think I could ever
Hmm.
put it on. It just holds too much value for me.
That's exactly it. Like, well, when
Now
it
that's
comes to
dope.
the players, huh?
49 Media says you
Signed
have a
frame
signed and
Fred
frame Fred
Warner
Warner
jersey.
jersey. That's cool. I have a signed Patrick
Nice.
Willis jersey that I need to do something with. I gotta frame it something and get it hung somehow.
Oh, hold on. I gotta read what Steve-O's got going on here. Symptoms. Oh, we might have a Cooney Bank Green or Lenore next week. We might not have. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
It's a we'll see type of thing, you know.
Lenore's getting his knee checked out. He got bumped into. We all saw the play. He came back in the game and gutted it out, but you just knew after the game he was going to be sore and get checked out. So hopefully he's okay and could go because our secondary is looking just the cornerbacks are looking real thin right now.
Yeah, and you know, well, Travarius Ward is working his way back. You know,
Yep.
we'll have to just keep an eye on the you know injury report over the course of the week and see
Yeah.
if he's putting in the work, full practices, then he's going to be playing. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what you
Um.
want to see. Like full practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what you want to see.
Yep. And you know, like Trent Williams, we might see no practice Wednesday or Thursday and
Yeah.
limited on Friday, but
Yeah.
that means that even means he's ready to go if he's limited.
Yeah.
You know,
He never
um,
practices on a Wednesday, so just expect that to happen. Like you got to just wait
yeah,
for Thursday and then Friday with him. And that's just the way it is.
that's exactly it. That's
Yep.
exactly it. But you know, like so Feliciano, I don't know if you heard,
Heard the news. He is gone for the season.
shut down,
Yep.
shut down, gone for the season.
Now, a lot of the faithful had hopes of him, including us. We talked about it. Him returning and taking over the starting center spot over Jake Brendel. Well, that ain't happening. So it
Man,
seems like we're stuck with Jake Brendel for the immediate future.
yeah,
It's like you kind of see the rainbow through the clouds a little bit, and then next thing you know, a thunderstorm happens and it all goes away. It's like, what can you do? What can you do? Oh man, it's terrible
well,
news just for the hopes of the O line, and we all wanted to see an upgrade at the center position.
I'm halfway to say like this Nick Zakel guy and this Brenton Barch guy we got on the roster. How are they at center? You know, or could it's like you know Brindle was ranked. I don't know who ranked him this, and I've been told this by a couple folks, but it might be
Stop.
PFF. It might be PFF, but it ranked 41st out of qualifying centers in the league.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I saw that too.
so let's do some math. There's 32 teams.
Right. Check that out. 32 teams. So right now
Oh man,
he's behind backups according to this ranking, which is terrible. Like if we had a starting center and that center got hurt and now Brendel's there and he's ranked 44th, we could be like, well, he's a backup. That's what can you do? But he's our starter. It's like, oh my gosh. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough.
yeah. Anshul, too soon, buddy. Too soon. Like I ain't ready for that yet. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
a lot can
Hold off
happen
on
over
that.
the next 6 weeks.
Yeah,
But the thing is we just got to worry about us and take care of business.
exactly.
Um, if we get Purdy,
So
Bosa,
basically, he's unranked. Yeah.
you know, we get a few guys back, like key players back for the Buffalo game. It's a, you never know what's going to happen, but we got to play good, clean, disciplined football. We can't have
Oh,
the
yeah,
hot mess express that was going on yesterday.
yeah.
No, no, we can't have that.
The answer to this
But
question is hell's no. There you go.
red zone, hell yeah, that's a hell no,
It's a hell
no.
no. Um,
I'm convinced that PFF doesn't. I don't know if they actually watch the game, you know, or if they like, oh, the running back ran to the right. Oh, he got 6 yards. We're going to give this guy a high grade because he just ran but right behind this guy. Okay, then the next play, the guy gets choke slammed by Micah Parsons in, the playoffs. Can you guess who I'm talking about? And it's like, how do you rate that, PFF? How do you rate the
Yeah,
choke
yeah,
slam?
yeah. They're terrible. Oh, can't say in PFF. Anyway, um, yeah, you were saying we get some key pieces back. We go into
Yes.
Buffalo. It's a winnable game, right? All these games are winnable. We're a good football team, but it's you hit the nail on the head. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. I mean, one thing we haven't talked about yet is special teams. And this week, with special teams, it always seems to be something new, something different. Usually, it's our return coverage that's
Mm-hmm.
letting us down. This week, it was the actual return team that let us down. Now, one thing I would say, Debo Samuel did have that big kick return, and I don't think that was a hold on Saubert. I thought that was a clean inside block in which he actually wound up pancaking the guy because the guy kind of flopped back. But I don't think that was a hold. I think we got robbed on that one. Big time. Big time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
If the refs wanted to, they could throw a holding flag on every play.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's
It's so
just be honest
subjective.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that was just good inside blocking, and the guy kind of flopped back, and Sauber just kind of went with him, and pancake blocked him. Yeah, you see that kind of stuff on the O line all the time, and that was just ugly. But Ricky Pearsall took over the punt return duties, and he had two good punt returns that got us past the 30. But because of penalties, we wound up starting those drives on like the 10-yard line. And it's rough when you're trying to get back into a ball game and you're starting from so far behind. It we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot over and over and over. And it was like, okay, I got hope. We're down 10. We could do this. Okay, cool. We're down 17. We can still do this. And it just never materialized. It was just
The
too
second
ugly.
when we went down 17, and I was like, the way this team's playing right now, that I can't say we're going to win this game. That's what I said to myself. I can't say we're going to win this game. And but the game kept going, and it was like I was just shaking my head the whole time. I don't yell at my TV, folks. If any of y'all do it, there's no point. They can't hear you. Okay, I'm just saying. Um, but I'm just shaking my head watching, going, man. Then late in the fourth quarter, the Packers are in field goal range. It's like fourth and short, and they choose to go for it. I was like, dude, like there's absolutely no way we're coming back,
Yeah,
and you guys are going for it. And it was like, is he running up the score? Is he
totally.
trying to show Kyle how it's done?
I don't know if Kyle owes him money, made him mad, if he caught a flashback from the 19 wait, what year was that? 2019 NFC Championship game or something. Why you go for it on, fourth down and then you're throwing inside the red zone to try to score? That was totally him running up the score.
Yeah,
Completely. That was
one
completely
hundred
him
percent.
running up the score. That's what he did there. And why? I don't know. Because they completely had the game in hand, like you said. We were not coming back. And that was clearly the end of the ball game. But they choose to run it up. So Maybe their friendship was a little soured. They did speak for a little bit after the game, the post game half midfield walk, right?
I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
And I was like, I'm sitting there wondering if Kyle's telling them, like, that's some bullshit you did at the end. Because I had the same thought you did. I was like, fourth down, they're going for it? And then they start throwing, and I'm like, he's really trying to score a touchdown here. He's running it up. I was like, oh, that's not going to sit well. What's up with that? So,
Well, maybe he's like, we win this game. The Niners don't have a chance. We won't see him again. It won't matter. Maybe that's what he thought. So we gotta, the team needs to put it together and prove them wrong.
They gotta do something. Hold up, I want to go back to this Papa J comment where he's like, Kyle went in babysit mode and oversaw Steve Wilkes. Like, why is he not doing that for Brian Schneider? Hey, man, we've been talking about that for I know I've been talking about that for 2 seasons now, because the special teams weren't good last year. We were giving up big returns and having gaffes and things of that nature. And Schneider's philosophy of trying to pin a team, this goes back to last year, not this year. He has this philosophy of, hey, I'm going to try to pin a team on kickoffs inside the 20, right? So he does this like corner kick, and special teams is supposed to go down and tackle the team and get them inside the 20. Never happened. And no, I won't lie. It happened a few times, but when I say few, I'm talking 1, 2, 3. The entire season. That was it. It never worked. But he kept trying it over and over and over. And it's like, dude, if this is your specialty and what you're supposed to be trying to teach, why is it not translating? So that, on top of the big returns that we saw given up, on kickoffs, on punt returns, it was totally screwed up. And then you come to this season, and we've seen all the blunders. All of them. From week 1 onward. Blunders. And it's like, how is that dude not on the hot seat? How are you not pointing the finger at him? And we all see it. All of us. Right? Can't hide it. So it's a total head scratcher. And we know Kyle doesn't fire people during the season. I'll just talk bad about him. But it's like, of all the coaching changes that should happen the next offseason, and I don't even care if we win the Super Bowl, special teams has to be on the list. Because
most definitely.
It is ugly.
I honestly would like to see, like when it comes to player position coaches, Chris Forrester, I can't say he's a bad coach because he's working with what he's given.
Yeah. He ain't giving much, right?
He's not giving much. Kurseric, he's been given some talented players, although, Hargrave is not on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Floyd, he's good for 9-10 sacks. I don't even know how many he has on the season.
He's up to 6.5 right now, so he's going to get to that 10 mark.
So yeah, he's on pace. He's on track.
Yeah, he's right on pace to do what he does. So, hey, hats off to him.
When it comes to the other position coaches, I'm not going to lie. Most of them, I don't even bother to learn their names because of how many coaches Kyle goes through. That's just how I am. Like, I actually have an employee at work under me, and she's been there 3 weeks. I barely learned her name Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
And she literally works for me, folks.
What's up with that?
I know, that's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, my God.
But it's just one of those. I don't know if anyone's going to cut it for the first couple. If they make it past the first couple of weeks, I'll learn your name.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. You're not going to bother learning their name if they're not going to be around for a while, right? It's like, all right, if he's out of here in a week or two, like, why even bother? I got you.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. But
So that's how I
yeah,
am with
but
players.
you know, and I can't tell you who are
Hmm.
corners coach or safety defensive back. I couldn't tell you their name because
Hmm.
I'm not bothering to learn it because I guarantee you we're going to be swapping some assistant coaches out this offseason.
Well, the position coaches tend
Um,
to hang around, like Johnny Holland for the linebackers. Um, what's my
I
guy that
like
does the
him
running
though.
backs?
I do like him, although
Yeah.
you know he's kind of working with what he has right now.
Well, he's got Fred Warner and everybody else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Campbell isn't doing what he's supposed to do. Young D Winters is showing flashes, but he got hurt a few games ago. Now he's got a concussion this time around. Um, Demetrius Flanagan fouls. He's just special teams right now. You know, so what can
He's
you
part of
do?
that horrible coverage unit. Yeah.
Yep, yep. It's like, oh,
Yes, Brian Greasy, Red Zone. You're right.
yep,
I do know
yep.
his name. Okay,
If you had to
Daniel
cut one
Bullocks is the
coach,
defensive back coach.
yeah, yep. If you had to cut one
Uh
coach,
oh.
one offensive
Oh,
player,
Steve
one
O's saying
defensive player on the
Steve O's
Niners, who
bringing
would they
more
be?
in. They're trying to educate
Yep,
me.
yep,
Guys,
yep.
come on.
KJ Wright, linebackers coach. He just joined. If you had to cut one coach, that's easy. Brian Schneider, special teams. One offensive player, another easy one. Jake Brendel, the center, right? Gone. And one defensive player, Isaac Yadam, gone. There you go. That'd be my three right there. Easy. Easy.
Media. You're
What do you
funny.
think about it?
Um, DFF. That comment. But the thing
TFL, the
is
GOAT.
what does GOAT stand for exactly? There, media. What do you mean?
I know. We got another acronym because it ain't the common acronym for sure.
I don't see escape in front of
You
that.
know? Oh,
But
man. But Buffalo. But Buffalo. Yeah, but we're on to Buffalo, right? And it's all about this week's practice report, injury report. Because we played a game with a lot of backups on the field, and it kind of showed. I mean, it's mainly due to execution, but it was a lot of names out there. When you start seeing the Rocky Sins of the world out there, it's like, ooh, we're getting thin, we're getting down the line. So this week is all about trying to get as healthy as possible so we can put on a good showing in Buffalo.
and you know, a couple games ago, I literally said we got to win 5 of the last 7 to give us a shot. And I wasn't talking about the wild card because you
Division.
know our division opponents play each other a lot coming
Mm-hmm.
up, so they're going to beat up on each other. I looked over their schedules, and it's like all of them have 2 easy games out of the last 6. Well, could be classified as easy. You
Yeah.
never know
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Alleged easy.
Out of the
Yeah.
last 6, you know, we don't really. You know, the Bears. You never know what they're going to do. We got the Bills next week. That's going to be tough. We got
Yeah.
Detroit. That's going to be tough.
Detroit's coming up. Yep. We still got tough ones
I
out
mean,
there.
we do. You know, but it's on to Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo. Um, and you know we're gonna go up. We're gonna play in whatever weather they have. Hopefully it's the cold weather, and Kyle just is like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run the living crap out of the ball."
Well,
That would be so nice to see.
well, it's funny you mentioned that. I checked, and it might be cold and rainy, right? So, what do you want to do in the cold and the rain? You want to
You
pound the
run the
rock.
ball.
You want to
That's
pound the
right.
rock. So if there's ever a game to get back to the core basics of just pounding the rock, playing a little bully ball, this would be it. And if there's ever a game to get back to that two-headed, three-headed running back monster, this is the game. This is the one to do it. So, Kyle makes us scratch our heads a lot with just his decision making. Let's see what he does this game, right? Is he going to really have, Brock or Brandon Allen, God forbid, try to throw the ball 30 times a game in the windy rain of Buffalo? Or is he going to try to pound the rock? We'll have that question next for you on David's channel next week, folks.
Oh man. Yeah, we didn't win. So, that puts me back in the rotation. If we would have won, I would have been stepping down and be all on Ty's channel.
But this could be a flipping of the script. We could be winning and be on your channel now. Imagine that.
Oh, that would be so nice. That would be so nice. I think I've had one, but I don't even remember how long. It was so long ago, I don't even remember.
Mm-hmm. And then we won back to back for the first time. No, we didn't. We had to buy. That was only 2-game winning streak. My goodness.
Steve-O, seriously? Buffalo is +7 on us right now?
Yeah, it was 6.5 and it went up to +7. Because all the injuries. So we don't know. So
it's only Monday. We haven't even hit practice yet.
You know how the betting line is. They waste no time. They jump on it.
That's right.
So, yeah. But hey, everybody, thanks for joining in. It's been a great show. We appreciate y'all. Chat's fire as usual. Make sure you like and subscribe. Trying to grow the channel. I'm close to 300 subs. So, hey, tell a friend, tell a friend. Get me up there, folks. I'm trying to do this. And make sure you subscribe to David's channel. My guy, right there. Okay, his link is in the description. Click on it. Go sub to him. We're on his channel next week, recapping the Buffalo game. And David, what else you got going on this week? Let the people know so they could tune in.
Well, we got the Corey Davis 49er Wednesday, NFL picks. We have someone stepping out for the rest of the season. Just tune in, folks. It's always going to be quite the show. There's always a lot of people. And, of course, we might be back to doing Jackbox gaming on Friday night. I don't know. We've took a couple weeks off. So, I guess we'll just have to see what happens there.
Yeah. Real quick. I know you do pick them. I do pick them. I had a great week last week where I went like 12-2. Phenomenal. I'm on cloud 9. I'm like, boy, can I pick them. Right? Going into this week, I'm like, I'm about to do it again. I think it was 2-8 yesterday. Terrible.
Wow.
I mean, just downright terrible. And my beautiful wife is in the pick'em with me. Just screamed out, I went 8-2. She's actually in the leaderboard. She's actually leading the week in our group. Shout out to her. Tells you who the brains in the relationship is, right, folks? So there you go. How'd you do in your pick'em this week? What was your record?
Well, last week I was 11-3.
Nice.
And this week I'm about 500. Okay. And I'm okay with it. It was kind of a crazy week in the NFL, so I'm okay with it.
It was. Yeah.
So.
Oh wait, I'm actually 5-6 this week. It wasn't as bad as I thought. 5-6.
Okay,
I got some wins.
Hey, that's not bad.
I get hit 500 with a Chargers win tonight in the Har Bowl, which is on right now.
That's right. It's the Harbaugh Bowl tonight, folks.
That's right. Yes, it is. That's right. But that's hey, Red Zone, you're not lying. Behind every great man is a great woman. That's right. You are not lying. Oh, but hey, we're getting out of here. I'm Ty. That's David. Everybody, season ain't over. We still do this thing. So hey, always rep like we're doing. See, even David has got on his gear. always rep, and always stay faithful. David, take us home, buddy.
Hey, it's Go Niners, as Corey Davis says, and F all 31 other teams.
That's right. See you, everybody.